Seeing how the character Shawn the Sheep is getting his own movie, why don't we look at the short film he originally got his start from, which is the third Wallace and Gromit short, A Close Shave. In case you haven't heard of Wallace and Gromit, which would be hard to believe since they've been shown countless times through TV and movies, they are the claymation duo who go on adventures mostly due to mishaps with their inventions. While stop-motion animator Nick Park has received countless accolades to his work on films like Creature Comforts and Chicken Run, Wallace and Gromit remain my all-time favorite creation of his. When I was a kid growing up in Staten Island, I remember walking into a store which seemed to focus on niche and lesser-known stuff. Then on one of the televisions was a cartoon that looked unlike anything I've seen before. It had a funny-looking man who loved cheese and wore these odd mechanical pants, who had a silent dog giving him snide looks and remarks. I was hooked, and convinced my parents to get me whatever that was on VHS. Turns out that day I was introduced to the wrong trousers and a grand day out. Both were the first shorts that preceded A Close Shave. I could not stop watching them. I'd still watch them, though I think I've worn out the VHS tapes. Eventually I saw A Close Shave, which focused on Wallace finding a love interest, a sheep that sneaks into our hero's home, and a malicious dog with cruel intentions, though it's all the sheep he can find. Wallace finding a love interest is one of those things I thought was cute at first, but since watching more Wallace and Gromit shorts, I've noticed it's become an abused trope. Something that's always bugged me the wrong way was at the ending, which I won't spoil, except it involves Wallace not pursuing his love interest. It's a harsh way for Wallace to dump someone regardless of how silly it sounds. But the one thing that works the most about this short, and all Wallace and Gromit shorts as a matter of fact, is the visual humor. Gromit the dog never speaks, but everything he conveys is done through funny gestures and mannerisms. The same goes for the villains. Good God, all the villains in these short manage to be the coolest and despicable people you've ever laid eyes upon. Even if they don't speak, their personalities shine through their movements, which is a true sign of a well-animated character. Nick Park's brilliance as a filmmaker shines through the short subject. He can tell a full story with only 30 minutes to spare. I especially love the stakes at hand. It must be a British sorts of sensibility to have the biggest, wildest adventures through the smallest and quietest towns possible. It's what reminds me of the Edgar Wright movies and especially the Wallace and Gromit shorts. Wallace is an inventor, which always leads to funny gags involving machines falling apart or functioning in weird, quirky ways. Much like the other Wallace and Gromit shorts, I highly recommend checking out A Close Shave. Especially now since the Shawn the Sheep movie seems to share all the good qualities of this short.